All right, so 12.1, the counting principle. First thing it starts off with is an experiment. Experiment is an activity with an observable outcome. So example of that is flipping a coin. Our sample space will be all possible outcomes of an experiment. So when we talk about flipping a coin, heads and tails would be the sample space. Oh yeah, sample space is usually denoted by capital S. Your event is going to be any collection of outcomes in the sample space. So if I wanted to look at what's the probability of landing tails, tails would be my event. And that's usually denoted by, capital letters. You probably wouldn't want to use S because S is going to be taken up with sample space. All right. All right, so one number is chosen from the sample space of 1 through 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. List the elements in the following events. So the first event, the number is even. So the elements out of your sample space that are even would be 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. If the event is being divisible by 5, the only numbers that are divisible by 5 are 5 and 10. So you talk about the numbers that are in the sample space that are divisible by 5. And the third one, the number that is prime. So prime numbers that are in the sample space 2, 3, 5, and 7. Talk about numbers that are divisible by 1 and itself. Any questions?
Hi, good morning. I was
Hey,
wondering if you could go back to the experiment definition.
absolutely not. All right, hold on. All right. You said going right here. All right, let me know when you're ready to go.
All right, thank you. I'm done.
Okay. Anything else before we go to the next one? Everybody good? All right. So here it says we have two-digit numbers are formed from the digits 1, 3, and 8. Oh, my pen. Okay. Find the sample space and determine the number of elements in the sample space. So here they suggest that we create a chart. Well, I guess I don't need to erase it. So you create a chart, 1, 3, and 8, top row, and 1, 3, and 8 on your left column. And you create the numbers that would be produced with the chart. So 1 and 1 will give you 11, 1 and 3 will give you 13, 1, 8 will give you 18. Then 3 1's 31, 3 3 33, 3 8's 30. And then 8 1's 81, 8 3 is 83, 8 8 will give you 88. And that will be your sample space. Those are all of the two-digit numbers that can be created from 1, 3, and 8. And then they ask you how many numbers would be in your, or how many elements would be in the sample space, and it would be 9 because we have 9 numbers. All right. Questions on that one? All right. Go to the next one. It says a true false test consists of 10 questions. Draw a tree diagram to show the number of ways to answer the first 3 questions. So it tells us to draw a tree diagram, and we're only looking at the first 3 questions. We're not trying to figure out how many different ways to answer all 10 questions. It would be a lot for us, but just the first 3 questions. So, well, let me make sure everybody got that. All right, so creating this tree. If your first question, you setting up first question, second question, third question. So for your first question, you have 2 options, of course, just true and false. So if you decide to go true first, is what I did here. Then from there, second question, true and false. Right options. Third question, true and false. And then coming from false, I do it again for true and false. So if I answer false first, from false I go true false, from the true to true false, and then from the false, true false. You just create excuse me, all of your scenarios, and every time you create another branch, you're branching off with true and false. So your options here would be true, 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 false, true, false, true, true, false, 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 true, true, false, true, false, 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 true, and false, false, false. So that's 8 possible outcomes. Any questions? Any questions? All right. All right. The fundamental counting principle. If you can choose one item from M items and one item from N items, then the number of two item choices will be M times N. All right. So if you have 30 shirts, 20 pairs of jeans, 10 pairs of shoes, how many different outfits could you create? So assuming you're only going to wear one of those shirts, one of those pair of jeans, and one pair of pants, one pair of shoes, excuse me. Um, you're only going to choose one out of each category. If all you can do is choose one out of each category, all you do is multiply those numbers together. So 30 times 20 times 10, and that will give you 6,000 outfits. So of course, that's not considering stipulations like matching or this shirt really doesn't go with this pants, pair of pants or something like that. But if you're just talking about just creating outfits, you just multiply those numbers together, and that's 6,000 different outfits. So, next time you're in your closet and you claim you don't have anything to wear, mathematically, it may not be the case. You probably could put something together that you haven't put together before. And so all I was saying with the gradient is just multiplying the number of options in each category. So I had 30 options in my shirt category, 20 options in my jean category, 10 options in my shoe category. All right, any questions? right. In horse racing, betting on a trifecta refers to choosing the exact order of the first three horses to cross the finish line. If there are 8 horses in a race, how many trifectas are possible, assuming there are no ties? So I'll give you a chance to write that. All right, so what we did here, we had 8 horses altogether. In first place, as far as how many horses I had to choose from, there were 8 horses, so I'll put 8 there. Remember, each category represents how many choices I had for that category. For first place, I start off with 8 horses, so I have 8 horses to choose from. In second place, if one horse already went across the finish line, I only have 7 horses to choose from to put at second place. Then once that horse crossed the finish line, that's what I'm saying. When I choose that horse, and I will have 6 horses left to choose from. So it's 8, 7, 6. Once I establish how many choices I have in each category, I can go ahead and multiply those together using fundamental counting principles. So 8 times 7 times 6 gives me 336 possible trifectas that can be created. All right. Questions on that? All right. So the next one, I think this is the last one out of 12-1. From the letters A, B, C, D, and E, how many 4-letter groups can be formed if we look at A, the letters can be used more than once. So, um, if the letters can be used more than once, and we have five letters as our options, so that's what I'm doing right there. And we're trying to create 4-letter groups, so I have 4 boxes. So I have 5 letters to choose from, and I can use more than once. So that means I could have A if I wanted, or B, C, C. So that's in these boxes. I would have the 5 choices in each case. So in each box, there are 5 choices to choose from. It doesn't matter if they're repeated or not. So I just multiply 5 times itself 4 times and get 625. All right, questions. Next one. Um, B says each letter can be used exactly once. So That means in the first box, you put 5. Once you use that one, you have 4 choices. Then from there, 3 choices and 2 choices. So 5, 4, 3, 2, multiply those together, you get 120. And that's how many different ways you could create 4-letter groups with A, B, C, D, and E. All right. Questions? Any questions on anything? Let me check something real quick. Okay. All right. So I won't do anything else new today because of where we are. So once again, test 3. I will post that test and review between today and tomorrow. I meant to do it yesterday, but you know how that goes. But that's on 10.1 through 10.3, 11.1, 11.2. As far as new material, chapter 1 is 12.1 through 12.4. I said chapter 1. Chapter 12 is 12.1 through 12.4. Chapter 13 is 13.1 through 13.4. So we really don't have to rush as far as new material is concerned. We have time. We knocked out one of the sections out of chapter 12 today. So we really only have 7 more sections of new material to discuss. And then we'll talk about how we will handle the class moving forward. You know, we're finished early, and we should. But questions, concerns, comments on anything before we close out? Like I said, I don't want to do anything new without having that test being and review being posted. Next class, we'll be open for questions first before we jump into 12.2. So if you have them, make sure you bring them next class. Or you can always hit me up if you don't want to wait until Tuesday. I can also answer questions over the weekend. All right. So before we close, any questions? All right. So everyone take care. Have a good one. Probably will shoot you an email. I'll let you know once I post the review and everything, so you know that it's up there. And also don't forget to get caught up if you aren't caught up. Everything is still open for you to be able to do so. If you want to raise your 5th week grade, you can do it. It's there for you to do. So go ahead and do that if you need it, and take advantage of the opportunity. And I will see you guys on next class. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right.